Arkham. So, look, I'm not a fan of the goal of this project, right? But I have to acknowledge they could have a very, very, very good year. There's a lot of potential here for them to have success. It's going to be based around, potentially deals that they land. But there is obviously a use case here, like a very real use case. I just think it's counter to what crypto was truly meant to be. But I will talk about this and where I think this can go this year based on potential deals as well. Before I get into it, if you're new here and you don't know what this spreadsheet shows, it's the first 26 coins that I did videos about on this channel. Now, in all of the videos, I showed myself buying up these cryptos. They were coins that I thought were going to make me very, very good money. And you can see what these coins were worth when I recorded the videos. You can also see what these coins hit in under a year and a half. And these are what your profits would have been from $100 into each. So if you had just thrown 100 into each when I released the videos, sat on them for around 16 months and sold them, your profit in under a year and a half would have been over 123 grand. Now, the thing is obviously you don't have a year and a half to get your portfolio sorted. Bitcoin's hovering around 70K at the moment. And if you're sitting on cryptos you're not confident in, it's probably because they're not going to be making you any money. If that's you, get onto copymycrypto.com. Just have a look through the site. On there, you'll see what my members have earned. You can see the successes we've had. You can read their testimonials. Everything on the site is public record, so you can verify it all online. And if after reading through it, you like what you see, maybe you should try out the service. It's where I share my portfolio with my members. Whenever I'm ready to buy or sell any coin as well, I tell my members the coin that I'm going to buy or sell, price I'm going to do it at, so my members can copy along exactly. There is no work at all. Like I say, if you like the idea, check out the site, verify it all, and if you like what you see, try out the service, guys. So Arkham. Arkham has had a pretty damn good year, let's be honest. It, launched in 2023, was at lows of 30 cents, hit, over $4. Since then, obviously had a pullback. Now, Arkham is a blockchain analysis platform. It uses AI to de-anonymize the blockchain and on-chain data. Now, the main components are the analytics platform and the internal exchange. The analytics platform covers analytics on entities, exchanges, funds, whales, and tokens. So you can check the portfolio holdings, transaction history, exchange flows, network relationships, and other on-chain analytics, whereas the Intel exchange allows anyone to buy and sell address labels and other intelligence either through bounties, auctions, or the data program. They use an in-house AI engine with various sources of data such as public records, social media, web scraping, user submissions. The data is used to label addresses and provide entity analytics for Ultra, which is the company's AI algorithm. Now, the platform can be used for a few purposes, and some of them are legitimately very, very good. Tracking stolen funds, very, very good. Identifying fraudsters, verifying counterparties, auditing transactions, investigating hacks. And the Arkham claims that its platform can help combat the proliferation of crypto crimes and scams by incentivizing on-chain research. Now, fundamentally, if their technology is working at that kind of level that they can start, this becomes really, really interesting as an idea because, look, hacks happen all the time in crypto. And if you can just start holding the hackers to account, especially if they're slammed with like a significant criminal sentence, it could easily dissuade others from doing so. So that's not a bad thing at all. It's fundamentally what I object to from a principle standpoint from Arkham is that the premise of crypto was always that you have some privacy. Of course, crypto wallets are pseudo-anonymous. There is levels of like tracking, but there was meant to be a level of privacy that you had with cryptocurrency. And the idea of de-anonymizing it, to me, is counter to the principles of crypto. Now, and that's something that many people have raised as a kind of concern. It's violating the principles of anonymity. It's and censorship resistance that underpin what crypto is about. Now, they don't collect or store any personal data from users. That's according to the team. And they only provide publicly available info that can be verified on the blockchain. So if that is true, but obviously it's taking a word for it to some degree, then that is a good thing. Now, it was founded by Miguel Morel in 2020. He's a veteran entrepreneur in crypto markets. And he had experience navigating crypto markets, which makes him, familiar with the intelligence needed for governments, for venture capital, for trading, and so on. They have a lot of investment from an undisclosed OpenAI co-founder, Palantir co-founder Joe Lonsdale, Tim Draper, Wintermute, GSR, Jeff Lewis. They raised over 10 mil in 2 equity rounds of financing and was valued at 150 mil in its last round. They did well, and you can see why they did well, because fundamentally, there is an obvious use case that you can see ARKM potentially having, which is that they work directly with governments. Now, that's a big question. Look, if they start working directly with, say, the Department of Justice in America, or they start working directly with, even with potentially the Treasury within multiple different countries, they could have an incredible year in terms of price action. Now, how people feel about that would then become very, very interesting, because as of right now, obviously they've not necessarily got that relationship, but you could absolutely see it. Governments do watch their citizens. That's not a revelation. That's not controversial. That's just factual. We know this. We saw the WikiLeaks stuff. We've seen enough revelations in the past 15 years about the government spying on their own citizens. So a project like this, as of right now, looks like they've got an honourable, to some degree, goal here. However, the long-term ramifications, if they were to get into a legitimate and close relationship with government entities, could be damaging for the principle, would be damaging for the principles of blockchain tech and cryptocurrencies. It's a really interesting one, but make no mistake about it, if they were to land a partnership, a direct partnership to aid the DOJ, let's say Department of Justice, for any investigation they were doing, God, hopefully not the SEC, but the SEC will use what they can use, ARKM would skyrocket in value because you would see the use case, you would see the value in the technology of what they do. And again, I think most people would find that unpalatable as a relationship, as a partnership. But I think it's absolutely within the realms of reality that a significant government entity reach out to ARKM, because it allows them to start monitoring things at a closer rate. Potentially, if it's just a focus on criminal activity, they're going to be able to use ARKM for the best possible purposes in that regard. But again, I'd find it particularly unpalatable, but this is kind of where I expect ARKM will end up going. I suppose a big question would be, would they want to publicize such a relationship? I think fundamentally, from a price appreciation standpoint, they absolutely would. If ARKM are responsible for getting billions of dollars worth of hacks returned, getting the funds returned back to the people that were hacked, this could do incredibly well. This would be worth billions. And I think there is a world where this gets to double digits. I really do, this year. I think there is, especially if we see another hack, which is almost a given, like a significant hack, I think it's kind of a given that we're going to see that at some point, because hackers hack. Right? And if ARKM are leading the way in terms of locating the funds, getting them returned, this could be worth billions. I think there's a world where this gets to $10 or even $20 this year. And God knows what it would hit if a strong partnership were built with a government entity. You just hope it isn't used for the wrong purposes. But I don't know how that will play out. That's where I see this going. That's simply where I see this going. I think they're going to end up with that relationship. How does everyone else think about this? Does everyone else see a similar path? And if you see that similar path, how do you think that kind of news, say they got a relationship with the DOJ or the SEC, how do you think that news would be received in the crypto space? I'm curious to see what people think on that. Let me know in the comments down below. Guys, look, we're in a bull cycle right now, and if you are not happy or confident in the cryptos you own, have a look at copymycrypto.com. That's the site I run where I share my portfolio with my members. Whenever I'm ready to buy or sell any coin, I tell my members the coin that I'm going to buy or sell, the price I'm going to do it at, so my members can copy along exactly. It means they make the same profits as me. There is no work for them. On the site, you can see what my members have earned. You can see the successes we have had. You can verify every single thing that you read and see on the site. It's all on the history of this channel. Getting the right cryptos in your portfolio has to be a #1 priority for everyone right now, because these markets are getting ready to rip. And if you are holding cryptos that you're not confident in, it's probably because they're not going to make you any cash, guys. So check out the site, see what it's about, and if you like what you see, guys, try out the service before these markets really start to rip. And that is it from me. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.